Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing great.
Hey, everyone.
We've got another free mini webinar for you guys. The idea is this will be 30 minutes for you. My name is Angela. Joining me is Jennifer. I'm a brand strategist, and Jennifer is a marketing and web guru, and we're joining forces to bring you these webinars. So my company is Be Bold Branding, and Jennifer's is Coalition. So we are planning to do this well into the full month of September, I think, and
possibly further.
Possibly into October. So we're trying to bring a lot of value to you and help you really hone in your marketing and your skills, so you can do a lot of this stuff yourself and understand how to get better results for your business. So today, without further ado, we are going to talk about taglines for your business. I know that a lot of us are probably inspired by the ones the big companies have, like Nike, just do it, or I'm loving it, McDonald's, right? How did they come up with that? And is that really the way to go if you're a small business? So Jennifer is going to lead us through that. She has a little bit of a framework. You're going to learn what type of message that your tagline should communicate. Because not all taglines are created equal. And you're going to want to choose something that's memorable and meaningful to your business. And you're going to want to give people that sort of light bulb moment that they'll totally understand what your business is about and who you're looking to serve, right? So they can think of someone to refer to you or to when they talk about you. So 30 minutes, and we're going to dive right in. Jennifer, go for it.
All right. So first of all, I just want to kind of go over what a tagline is. So you probably are familiar with it, but in case you're not, a tagline is a short, memorable description that succinctly and clearly communicates the brand message. So it's a very powerful communication tool. And what happens is it's like within 1 to 2 seconds, if you craft it correctly, it can communicate what the overall benefit is to your clients. It's typically coupled with a logo, and then it's across every piece of marketing material, your website, your emails, any kind of printed brochures that you might have. It's something that sticks with you permanently, and it communicates a very strong message. So that's what a tagline is. And I also want to talk about the difference between taglines and slogans. So a lot of times these two things can get mixed up. People will think they're the same thing, but they're actually slightly different. So the difference is a tagline is a permanent description, or semi-permanent. It can be changed, way down the line, but it's a pretty permanent description about a company, while a slogan is used in a very specific marketing campaign. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at some examples. So you're probably very familiar with MasterCard and Verizon because they're these big companies with these huge budgets, and MasterCard's tagline is priceless. And then their slogan that they used on this marketing campaign that they started, I think it was back in 1997, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. You probably could have rehearsed that yourself because it's all been seared into our brains, right? They've had a huge marketing budget. We are all very familiar with that. We've seen the ads on TV. They've been running it for years and years and years. The same thing with Verizon. Their tagline is, "We never stop working for you." But the slogan that we all know and we all joke about when we're on the phone and we can't hear someone, "Can you hear me now?" Good. Yeah, we all know that one. So those slogans were created for a very specific marketing campaign. And it doesn't mean that they have a short shelf life. Like I said, those two marketing campaigns have been running forever, but the tagline is different. So I hope that provides some clarification. So today we're talking about taglines specifically. And of course, we're all familiar, like Angela said a few minutes ago, about the very famous taglines for large businesses. They're seared into our brains. They're very punchy and memorable. And like I said a minute ago, those companies have huge advertising budgets. So let's look at some specific examples. So Nike, I bet you can rehearse it right now. Just do it. We all know that, right? Apple, think different. And McDonald's, I'm loving it. I'm sure we all knew all of those taglines off the top of our heads because they are punchy, they're memorable, and they've been seared into our brains through a very big marketing budget. But for a small business, you have to, the way that you use a tagline, it has to be different. You don't have the same marketing budget that those huge companies do. And so you have to be I don't want to say a little more thoughtful, because obviously they were very thoughtful in creating those taglines, but there has to be a different kind of purpose. And you have to be very clear about the message that you're trying to communicate to your audience. So a lot of times people make the mistake of trying to be cute and clever, and they'll come up with something that rhymes, or they'll come up with some kind of alliteration, and they'll think it's so fun and cute. But for the person who wasn't sitting in that room when that tagline was developed or crafted, they don't know what it means. It's confusing. And so you don't want to confuse your audience. And the reason why is because we are all getting 3,000 marketing messages that we're seeing every single day, whether that's through social media, watching TV, or listening to the radio. There's advertisements everywhere. And I've even heard that number be quoted up to 7,000 marketing messages per day. Our brains just naturally filter out anything that we don't understand. And so if your tagline is confusing, your audience, they're just going to filter it out. And you don't want to confuse your audience. You want to be very clear. And that's the most important thing before being cute and clever. I love this quote by Donald Miller. He's a big time marketing guru. He's written a very famous book called Story Brand, which we love, and we use the formulas in his book with our clients. And this quote that he says, "If you confuse, you lose." You don't want to confuse your audience. It's so important that you're clear before being clever. And then I love this quote. Angela and I went through a business coaching program a couple of years ago. That's how we met. And Jen Buzza was our business coach. And she used to always say, "Don't make me think. Don't make me think. It burns too many calories." And so, like, if you're looking at a website, you're looking at a logo, you're reading a tagline, you're reading some kind of marketing brochure, whatever it is, you don't want to make somebody have to work super hard to understand what it is that you're saying. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a networking meeting and somebody stands up and they give their elevator pitch, and I have no idea what they do for work by the time they're finished. They tried to be so cute and clever, and by the end of it, I still had no idea what they did. So there's no way I would know if I'd want to buy from them or if I'd want to refer to them. So don't make people think too hard. Be clear and concise, and then cute and clever. Okay, so I've told you the differences between big businesses and small businesses. And we've talked about being clear and concise over cute and clever. So how do you do it? What is the formula? What does make a good tagline for a small business? So this is the formula that we like to use. It's very simple. So first of all, ask yourself, does your business name clearly state what you do? For example, if you're an accounting firm and your accounting firm name is Johnson Accounting Services or Johnson CPA Services, yes, your business name clearly states what you do. But if your business name is something like Johnson Services, well, what kind of services? Plumbing services, accounting services, lawyer services, business coaching? You want to have that, you want to understand first. So it's okay if your business name doesn't clearly state what you do, but ask yourself this question first. So if the answer is yes, that your business name clearly states what you do, your tagline should talk about your differentiators. What makes you different from your competitors? Or it should talk about a clear benefit to your clients. So what is it that your clients receive from your services? What is that benefit that you're providing to them? What's that problem that you solve? On the other hand, if your business name doesn't clearly state what you do, your tagline should clarify what you do. So like I said, if it's Johnson Services, you want to be able to say accounting and tax services for small businesses. So let's look at some examples. These are very famous brands that you've probably heard of. Blue Buffalo, you probably know exactly. I can like picture their marketing in my head. I know exactly what it looks like, and I don't even have any pets right now. But they sell food for animals, right? I think dogs and cats. Their tagline is "Love them like family, feed them like family." So the business name Blue Buffalo, it doesn't talk about what the business sells, but in the tagline, it's not super specific, but it is enough that you know what they're talking about. Lush, this is a cosmetic brand. Now the business name Lush, you know, that could describe all kinds of different types of businesses, right? So you wouldn't know off the top of your head that that is a cosmetic company, but their tagline is fresh handmade cosmetics. So it's not only explaining that they sell cosmetics, it's also talking about their differentiators. They're fresh and they're handmade. Shrimp Shack, yes, the business name does talk about, you can kind of figure out what it is that they sell. Shrimp Shack, I mean, yeah, it could be a restaurant, maybe it could be like a place where you go and buy seafood that you bring home to your house. But their tagline is home of the fastest fish sandwich. So it talks about what they sell, but it also talks about the fact that they make those fast. So that's the differentiator. And then Dollar Shave Club. If you're not familiar with Dollar Shave Club, look them up on YouTube. They have the funniest YouTube videos. Their advertisements are so fun and amazing. Now, if you're not familiar with them, you'd be like, Dollar Shave Club. Okay, I can kind of figure it out. It has something to do with shaving. It's some kind of a club membership type thing. Dollar means it's cheap. So they kind of have a little bit of description in there. But then they use shave time, shave money. So it's a play on words, and it's also an alliteration. Would you consider that an alliteration, Angela?
Yeah, I think so.
Shave time, yeah. So it's really fun and clever. Now that one's super clever. Like some of them, you know, like home of the fastest fish sandwich. It's not all that clever, but it's specific, and so it serves a very good purpose. Same thing with Lush, fresh handmade cosmetics. It's not super clever, but it is specific and it serves a purpose. Now, these are some examples of some local businesses, including mine and Angela's business. So Bloom Keeney, they are an accounting firm in downtown Everett, Washington, and their tagline is Trusted Tax Advisors. So the business name Bloom Keeney, that could be anything. Who knows what that means, right? But because they have trusted tax advisors in there, you know what it is they do. Now, Coalition Web Design, my company, yes, we do web design. And so that's in the business name, that's very clear. But we also put like a differentiator in the tagline. So it's websites that drive sales. We're not just making pretty websites. We're not just making functional websites. We're making websites that drive sales. They help grow businesses. And Be Bold Branding, Angela's company, her tagline is, we build talk-aboutable brands that stand out in the ring. So again, her business name, it explains what she does because it has the word branding in it. It also talks about that she makes companies that are bold. And then the tagline talks about that it's talk-aboutable brands that stand out in the ring. So she definitely has some clever language in there. And then Trend Designs, this is a local graphic designer that I know. Yes, you can tell that he does some kind of designs. in his business name. You're not quite sure if it's graphic design or interior design or what that may be, but his tagline is "We Fix Ugly," which is super clever, and I think it really stands out. So what are some other tips on how to write a good tagline? We talked about being clear, being concise. You don't want to confuse your audience with concise. You don't want it to be too long. It needs to be timeless. So if it's like something that's some kind of phrase that's super popular right now, you might not want to use that. It needs to be something that's going to stand the test of time. It needs to be easy to remember. So you don't want to have something that's too like busy, cluttered, that somebody's not going to be able to remember. You want it to really stick in people's minds. And then you want to keep it consistent. So you want it to be consistent across all of your marketing materials. Don't change it up. If it's on your logo and it's on your website and it's on, your printed materials, keep it consistent. Put it everywhere. Your tagline, you need to put it everywhere. Put it in your email signature. Put it in the marketing emails that you send out. And then lastly, but definitely not least, focus on the benefits for your client, not yourself. That's a huge mistake that we see people make a lot, not just in taglines, but in all their marketing. If you focus on the benefits that your client receive instead of yourself, it's going to make a bigger impact. I think that's the end of the presentation.
Well, that was excellent. Before you move on to our last slide here, I did have a few notes that I wanted to add in. Great framework. Like I love what you said about "Don't make me think." I love that. I forgot that was Jen's thing. Yeah, and that's true for a lot of your marketing. Is you don't.
She'd always do it like this. Don't make me think.
I know. She's scary. it really got ingrained into your mind just because of how she did it, right?
Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned, does your business name state what you do? Well, then you can be cute and clever, but be clear before you're cute and clever. That's awesome. Awesome framework. I wanted to also add, like, if you have trouble getting started, just dump your thoughts out about your business. Everything. Just write out like a description of your business as long as it needs to be, and then start trimming it down. And then trim it down even more, right? So how can you be, like what Jennifer mentioned, concise and memorable, and talk about your benefits over your features, right? So, yeah, don't talk so much about, the nuts and bolts of everything, but talk about what the benefit is to the client. And I wanted to read just an example from like how WeWork came up, and I found this online. WeWork, the co-working spaces, if you're familiar with those. So how they came up with their tagline. So they did, the brain dump of everything, their business. So WeWork is a community space where people can co-work together or rent larger private offices. We let you do what you love by providing fast internet access, bathroom facilities, coffee, beer, and meeting spaces. And then step 2 is they trimmed it down. So a community space where you can focus on what you love doing, and we will handle all the hassles of running an office. And then for their tagline, they trimmed it down even further. So do what you love. That was for WeWork, right? Again, they're going to have a bigger marketing budget than we have, but that's the idea. If you can just start doing a brain dump of everything your business does, focus on the benefits to your clients, and then just start trimming it down and pulling out from there what you think is the most meaningful and memorable. That's going to attract the right kind of client for you. That's all I have to add.
Yeah, no, that's really good, because I think you need to be able to like sit down and really just think about like what are the benefits, what is it that we do, and just kind of get that out, and that brain dump will really help. And then trimming it down and trimming it down and trimming it down until you get to the very core things is very important.
And a good little copywriting trick is to ask, so what? To get really to the heart of the matter of what's really important to write down, to make a note of. So ask yourself, so what? So what? So what? And you'll get really down deeper to the real issue or the real benefit at hand if you do that. Excellent. Thanks for that, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did want to offer some help to you guys. If you need help coming up with a tagline or you have any other marketing questions for you, we've done a few of these sessions with people and they've been super impactful, really helpful for their businesses. We want to offer a 90-minute brainstorm whiteboarding session. That's an hour and a half where you get myself and you get Jennifer, branding and marketing experts, to just hone in on any issue you have. So we'll talk to you beforehand, ask you, what you need help with, and then we'll sit down with you and figure things out for you. And we want to help you, build that big picture overview of your business and get you insights into how you can start making waves in your business, basically. So if you're stuck somewhere, please take advantage of this special offer. We have this for our webinar viewers only. So if you go to the website below here, coalitionwebdesign.com/brandstorm. Is that the right link now? Did you shorten that link? Because it used to be brandstorm-session.
I think it's different than that. Let me pull it up and I'll put it in the notes because I don't think that's right. So.
Sorry, guys. I think it's brandstorm-session, but we could shorten it. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
It is brandstorm-session, but here, let me put it in the link and
here,
we can shorten it too. Here we go.
Okay, brandstorm-session is the correct link. I don't know.
I put it in the chat already.
In the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at comments or anything. I don't see any. But if you do have any questions, please reach out to us on Facebook or by email, and we'd be happy to chat with you. And let's see, what's up for next week? Oh, 10 questions to ask yourself before rebranding your business. So, there we go. There's the schedule. So next week, if you're thinking about rebranding your business, you may want to tune in and just find out what it is you need to ask yourself before doing that and what's really important to understand and know about your business before you do a rebrand. And then we have writing calls to action the week after that. And then some design tips that's going to help you convert more customers on your website. And then the last one we've got lined up is, what is the highest value real estate on your website? And so those are the topics that are coming up. Hey, we made good time today, Jen. High five. All right, that's it for today. Anything else you want to add, Jennifer?
Nope, I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, have a good day, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, see you next time.